What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Trucking and Transportation Wannabe, and just wanted to touch base with you guys since I have a little bit more energy after being home for about 3 days, and I'm just kind of chilling out here. If you hear a lawnmower going uh, outside, my neighbor across the street is out here cutting his grass and doing all that stuff, and I'm gonna tell you, that dude put some pressure on your boy because he's out there 365 days a year working on that grass. So, uh, almost making me feel like I need to get out there and start raking some stuff up. But you know what? I need to, one thing I could tell you about being on the road is my adult children that should have their asses out of the house anyway have definitely been chilling out a little bit more than they should. Not necessarily handling their share of the load while they're here. So I'm going to definitely have a conversation with them about that, because nothing worse than some lazy 20-year-olds, laying up around your house. And, that's a totally different topic. I could go on and on about that. For all you 21-year-olds out there getting your CDL and getting out there on your own, I salute you guys. Anyway, somebody had, I'd been speaking to somebody, when do I plan on going up to Prime, getting my truck. Now, Thanksgiving's a little bit later than I thought it was. This is the first time I really looked at the calendar. So my wife's in Mexico, or she will be in Mexico tomorrow for a week. And then that's going to be a good maybe 5-6 days, maybe a week between then and Thanksgiving. And I'm not sure if I need to get with my dispatcher and see about going up there that week and possibly, getting things set up to get my truck, or if I should just wait till after Thanksgiving. The problem is I don't want to get up there prior to Thanksgiving and then end up being on a list that takes a little bit too long for me to get off of, and then being trapped up there while everybody's gone during this whole Thanksgiving situation. So I'm going to call my fleet manager and just kind of get a little bit of advice from him. In the end, I'm probably going to make the decision that makes the most common sense. So just got back from the store. Need to do a video for my cooking channel. I had a request for a Mississippi pot roast. I didn't know what that was, but I looked it up and found the authentic version of that. So we're going to be slamming that on my cooking and barbecue page. Link to that page is going to be up in the iCard above. Run by there, take a look at No Hippie Barbecue and Cooking. Other than that, I have this truck I'm going to be selling. So I've just went out, bought some cleaning supplies for that. So when my wife is gone, I got this Dodge Ram I'm going to try to sell real quick while I'm home. And then I might sell this BMW if I get around to doing that as well. Really no need to have this BMW. It's pretty much an extra car, never really gets driven, so might get rid of this one as well. And then if I need to, just rent a car when I come back in town, or just buy a little beater, some $3,000-$4,000, something like that. Anyway, just some questions that I wanted to touch base on. I am going to be doing some full length videos on these specific topics, but somebody was asking about, should they come to Prime? And a lot of these people are saying, I've retired, or I'm retired from my current job. I'm either older, or I'm 20 years old and I'm thinking about going to Prime or applying for Prime when I turn 21. Do you think that that's old enough? And one thing I could tell you from being in the orientation class that I was in, as well as seeing some of these other classes, just that I run into going up to terminals. When I was in my orientation class, there was a 21-year-old kid, and I'm going to call him a kid because I'm 51, but 21 years old, he's out there, and he's making it happen. I've seen people that are, in their 60s that have started this class. And one thing I could tell you is that there really isn't one type of person that you would see going to any of these orientation classes or applying for Prime. I've seen people that have nothing to their name, literally like they have nothing or close to nothing, all the way to people that have over $1 million net worth, things like that. People with college educations, multiple degrees, people like me coming out of, more or less, let's just call it white collar kind of, employment, all the way down to, there's really not one type of person, and there's really not one type of person that does better than the other that, I've necessarily, that I've seen out there. So, regardless of what your background is, if you're burnt out on that corporate type stuff, bring your ass over to Prime. If you don't have anything to your name and need to get a fresh start, bring your ass over to Prime. Now, some people are like, Lyle, how come you're not giving out your driver code so we can hook you up with a referral? Listen, I'm all about that free money, and when the time is right, I will do that. I'm probably not going to put my referral code out there until I've been with Prime for probably about a year. I have given it to one person, but that was somebody that I knew just that well. So I'll start actually, I'll actually start putting my information out there for people to use me as a referral once I feel like I've earned that right. I haven't earned that right yet, so we're not going to do that yet. As far as my experience has been with Prime for the last 7 months, one thing I can tell you is they're almost, you hear all this stuff from people, if the weather's too bad, shut down, all this stuff, and you kind of hardly believe that when you hear it, but these guys are serious about that here. So that's really important to me. I haven't been in a situation where I felt like I needed to shut down, and I really haven't done much winter driving yet, but I do know that if that situation does arise, that I'll feel comfortable shutting down. As a matter of fact, you hear more about people getting in trouble for not shutting down soon enough than you do people that shut down early. So I really do like that. I like the camaraderie with Prime. If you're driving down the road, you see another Prime truck, 7 out of 10 times, they're going to wave at you. You're going to wave at them. You go to the terminals, you do see the owner of the company and all the higher ups just walking around mingling with people. So you don't feel like, oh, the owner of the company, he's, on some pedestal. I'm sure he's on a pedestal and he steps on that stack of dough, but he's not walking around hiding in an office. He's out there playing basketball, out there talking to people. So I really like that. The amenities, I'm really not into the Springfield branch personally. To me, that's a little bit much. I'm not all into, I don't think, hopefully I would be at the terminal long enough to take advantage of all that stuff, but to me, I'm a Salt Lake City kind of guy. I like that smaller, kind of more intimate thing where I know where everything is. I don't gotta, have a treasure map trying to find everywhere that I'm going. But one thing I can tell you is it has everything that you need. So he's definitely taking care of all those drivers, all the way from showers to, fitness, all that different kind of stuff that, I need to take advantage of when I get my ass in that terminal. Anyway, just a quick video to update you guys. Do want to let you know I am going to work on this pet peeve video where I talk about some of the things in the trucking industry that are my pet peeves. Some of that stuff is going to be pretty funny. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Wannabe, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.